everybody, my name is Sally-Ann Spence and welcome to the Hills Quarry Products dig site in Surneywick. Now this is an amazing dig where we have material from both the Ice Age and the Jurassic, and we have students involved from over 20 universities, and one of those is sitting next door to me now. This is Meghan Jenkinson. Hello Meghan.
Hi Sally.
Now Meghan, you're doing a PhD at present.
Yes.
Whereabouts are you doing that?
I'm based at the University of Leeds.
And what are you doing your PhD in?
I'm looking at basically anything that lives on the seafloor during the end part of the Lower Jurassic.
Right.
So about 183 million years ago.
Okay, so this site is absolutely ideal for you in that respect then.
It's slightly younger, this site, than what I look at, but a lot of the fossils are the same. So it's absolutely ideal.
Well, we are a 3-week dig. We're at the end of the first 2 weeks. We're just starting our final week. Meghan, how long have you been with us? Not long, is it?
No, I've been here since Sunday, so about a day and a half.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you've had a day and a half down there.
Yes.
And do you find anything?
Not a lot that everybody else would say is exciting and important, but definitely things that I've thought have been very important to pull out of the ground and bring up and clean up.
Good. And have you been in the conservation area and things as well, and sort of had a quick look in those areas?
Yep. I've spent a little bit of time in there, a little bit of time with cataloguing as well.
Good, good. Because this is what it's all about. It's about everybody taking a go, or having a go at everything that goes on here. And we've got most students and myself and everybody else living in tents behind us in a lovely tented village. So if you're part of the dig, you have to take part in all the chores as well. One of the chores is working my camera, and I've got Victor today working the camera. Thanks, Victor. Meghan, you've brought some things to show us. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, so these are Gryphaea. They're a type of extinct oyster. In folklore, they used to be called the devil's toenails because they kind of look a little bit like weird toenails, and they occur in abundance. If you find one, you're going to find 100 anywhere you find them. So the devil had a lot of toes.
Yes, obviously. They're a very successful group then.
Yes. You could go down to the site and spend 5 minutes there and you're going to be pulling 100 out of the ground. They're very common. A lot of people here don't really like them just because they're so common, but I think that they're very important.
They are beautiful, aren't they? So how are they feeding then?
So they've got 2 different valves. This is unusual for bivalves, which usually have 2 identical shells basically. So they've got a curved one which is really heavy, and they've got a flat one on the top. And because it's really heavy, they'd basically just sit in the sediment like this way up, and they'd be anchored down into the sediment, and they'd just open the flat valve, and they'd just bring in water and nutrients and food from the water and just sit there very happily.
So presumably they have many roles within the ecosystem, but one of them would be to keep that water clean as well, that recycling.
Yes, so
filtration. Because
they're oysters, they probably worked the same way as modern oysters do, and clean up the water basically. They filter feed. And so because they're very heavy, they can sit in sediment, which is in quite high current water. Okay. So if the water's moving quite fast, or if it's quite shallow and there's lots of waves, it can sit there undisturbed and not get knocked over.
Right.
And so those environments are going to be very muddy, lots of things churning up, lots of nutrients in the water, and they're going to be able to bring it in, get what they need, and clean it up at the same time.
Fantastic. Well, we are seeing an awful lot of them in the dig. And everybody's saying, oh, they're far too common to talk about, but actually they're really, really important in the whole system, aren't they?
Yep. So things that live on the seafloor are very important for understanding the whole ecosystem of what you're looking at, basically. So if you don't look at the common things like the Gryphaea, or the ammonites, or the belemnites, you're not going to get a complete picture of what's happening in the environment.
That's very true. And I'm going to get Victor to come back in with the camera, because we've even got a little tiny baby one here. This is a little tiny baby Gryphaea. So we have them at every stage of their life cycle, really, don't we?
Yep. Pretty
much. From the really little tiny ones up to these quite large ones, and a huge one here, and middle size. So you have got the whole lot. And they're living in big groups, aren't they? We're finding so many of them. Yep.
So they're very, very successful. There's not a lot of other things that we're finding that are living on the seafloor. So we found a couple of snails, a couple of flat scallop-like bivalves, but apart from that, it's pretty much just Gryphea.
Yeah.
So most of the other bivalves that we're finding in the site are living inside the sediment, so they are not disturbed by currents. This is definitely the realm of the Gryphea.
Well, thank you for giving them a shout out, because as I said, they are so common on the site that everybody's saying, oh, we don't want to talk about Gryphea because they're just everywhere. But actually we do want to talk about them, and we shouldn't overlook the more common things, because it's really important that you don't get that sort of blasé idea that, oh, well, they're common, I don't need to worry about them, because actually they do have a very serious part within the roles,
Yes.
don't they? So thank you very much, Meghan, for telling us about
Thank
Gryphea
you.
and giving Gryphea a shout out, a positive shout out. We like that. Keep watching our videos. We are updating constantly. We are unable to have you on site or visitors on site because we are part of a working quarry complex, and as a result, it's no public access. So we're hoping that these videos, unedited, raw and live from the field, are giving you a little bit of a feel of what it's like to be on this excavation. And you better get back down in that quarry if you've only been here a day and a half. So keep watching our videos, and the hashtag is TUSForce.